If you clicked on this video, you might be wondering if you are right smack in the middle of your quarter life crisis. Well, here are the signs that I experienced myself and coaching my clients. And maybe this could be the wake-up call that you needed to get your life together. What's up, guys? It's Nik. As you know, I'm a recovered shopaholic, now a money mindset coach empowering working professionals in crises to fund their dream life into reality. So if you are in your mid-20s to early 30s, that's usually when the quarter life crisis hits. I would know because I experienced it myself when I literally hit 25 years old. I had a good job. I would work and spend for the past 6 years. And then I was like, so what's the purpose of all of this? Like, what's the purpose of my existence? So that's one of the telltale signs that whenever you're questioning your life, what you're doing, that's when you're like, this is a crisis. But you know what? If I were to go back to my past self, I would let her know, I would reassure her that one day she's gonna wake up to her dream life that she always wanted because she decided to prioritize herself first, to invest in herself first. Because sometimes it just feels so surreal that I'm literally living the dream that I've always hoped for. And that's what I hope for you as well, that you take the steps to know that your dream life is possible and that you could fund that into reality. So if you're all about that, then make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel because I don't miss out on a new video every single weekend. So now let's get into the 5 signs that you might be in a quarter life crisis. Sign number 1 is you're waking up with no sense of passion and purpose in your life. So it's like you're waking up and you're dragging yourself every single day. You don't feel like, you keep asking yourself what's the point of what you're doing every single day? You're working day in and day out, but you don't feel like you're really enjoying your life as a whole. You don't even think that how you're spending is actually contributing to what you want out of life, or you might not even know what you really want out of life. You don't even know what do you really enjoy? What do you not want? Because you've probably been in autopilot for so long. We're in this phase in our life that it's completely different from when we were studying, right? Our goal was just, I'm gonna graduate and then I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work in a company that is aligned with my course or something. And then, as you keep working years later, whether you've changed jobs, you've shifted careers, and then you are in this place in your 20s or early 30s when you're just ano na ba? Wala ng plano. Ito ba gagawin ko for the next 5 years? Will I actually eventually have my own place? Will I eventually live independently? Will I actually start that business that I've always planned about but never took action on? Do I have savings to actually eventually do what I want? And you just hit a point where you're just I think there's something more, deep down. Deep down, you're so scared to even figure out what that something is, so you just wake up every single day with no passion or excitement anymore. With me, at least, I always share, is that financial freedom for me ultimately is being able to freely do what I want, that is aligned with what I feel is having a fulfilling life that gives me peace of mind. And being in that place where I felt I didn't really serve a purpose anymore, what's the purpose of my existence? I was in that place and I was just really, really down, and I couldn't even give myself permission to feel that way because I'm dude, suck it up. This is just life. Life is hard. Just deal with it. Eventually when I was able to really dig deep and really self-reflect why I felt I was in crisis mode, that's how I eventually motivated myself to get out of impulsive buying habits. That's how I motivated myself to save $500,000 pesos so that I could finally start my own business and to finally do what I love and speak up about it. And now being able to coach my clients, I realized I wasn't alone in that journey. When they decided to work with me, it was because they were also in that sense of ano na bang gagawin ko sa life? And that's why for me, I coach my clients so hard when it comes to mastering their money mindset. We get into what is your dream life? How do we get there? Maybe there's no guidance for you when it comes comes to talking about that with your parents, your family, your friends, you don't really talk about like figuring out how you can get what you want out of life and actually figure out how to save up to fund the kind of life that you want. So that's why I'm excited to share with you guys that my one-on-one coaching program got fully booked from my last launch. And I'm just so freaking excited that I've been like mentoring, coaching amazing high achievers who are ready and committed to get out of, you know, the past habits that they knew about shopping, the kind of limiting beliefs that have been stopping them to do what they actually want out of life. If you guys want to check out like the success stories and wins from my clients, you can check them out over on Instagram. I love sharing their stories because I feel like it also inspires more of you guys to really take that action. And if you do want to join my one-on-one coaching program, I am opening up slots, I think tail end of October. So just DM me on Instagram if you want to secure a slot there so that you can be one of my success stories from my coaching program, because it is life-changing, because I've seen it. I've seen it in people and I've seen it in myself. Second sign is impulsive buying has become your coping mechanism for your lack of control in your life. I know this hits deep, but then honestly, this was, if I were to peel the layers of my impulsive buying habits before, it was because like I felt like, okay, if I click checkout, if I click add to cart and it goes to my door, like that's something I'm in control of because I can just purchase that and I know I will feel good about it, versus like, you know, figuring out what I really want out of life. What do I think is my vision for my life? Do I see myself where I am 2 years from now, 5 years from now? Like, those are the hard questions that is really so hard to deal with. When you feel like you are lacking control of your life, it usually translates to other things that you want to be in control of, or you feel like you can be in control of, such as shopping and scrolling a lot, going on social media a lot, endlessly going on TikTok every morning, every night, is because you know that every time you open the app, every time you purchase something anywhere or get something delivered, you know that you will feel good about it. That's why online shopping can be addicting, because it brings up happy chemicals in the moment. Like, that is proven by science, you know. When we want to ignore the things that are hard to answer, okay, such as, am I just ignoring what I really want out of life because I know it's scary? Let me not deal with that and let me just shop what I want. It comes from a place where you are lacking decision making. You are being so critical over yourself, the major decisions in life. So let me just do something that seems so innocent, right? Like, I mean, I'm just gonna buy something in like Food Panda, like milk tea or whatever, and then it just happened to be like 3 times a week or something, and then it adds up, right? That's what I realized for me and my clients, was that when we really peeled back, what was the underlying cause of their impulsive buying behavior? It's because they know that they could do more. They know that they can be more, but it's just hard to face that because it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of facing yourself in front of the mirror and asking yourself, like, what do I need to let go of in order to step into the best version of myself? So I dive into a lot more, like how you can rewrite your money story, because that's how you can reframe your relationship with money and understand that you are in crisis mode right now. You might be in crisis mode right now. So how do you then get out of it? And it's usually the battle of the mind. How you can overcome those limiting beliefs so you don't resort to more shopping, more impulsive buying, right? So I dive into this a lot in my 60-minute free training. So if you want access to that free training, all you have to do is DM me directly on Instagram with the code word LIFE. Okay, so just DM me on Instagram and just say capital letters LIFE, and that would be your signal to me that you want to really understand more how you can get out of this crisis mode and get into how you can take charge of where you are right now and have more direction and clarity with your dream life, so you can actually walk towards it, work towards it. Sign number 3 is frequently buying random stuff that you don't need or don't get used. We've had those moments where we bought this random thing and we're like, why did we just spend this amount over that thing? But then only when we realize that and become aware that we are doing these kinds of habits, only then we can really realize how to get out of it and how to really solve that problem. Because we cannot solve a problem that we are not aware of. We cannot solve a problem when it has become our comfort zone. You know, I remember I kept hoarding so much skincare, hoarding so much workout clothes. Like, isang tao lang ako at isa lang yung mukha ko. Hindi ko alam kung bakit ang dami-dami kong binili. Parang yun nga, if you are in a crisis, you just want to grab a hold of something that will actually make you feel like you are fulfilled, you are satisfied, you are rewarding yourself, but it only feels good in the moment. Like, pag nakuha mo siya, okay, ang saya, may binili ka, na-afford mo. Tapos later down the road, you're like, how come I'm still not contented? Like, I feel like I'm gonna use it, but then in the end, hindi mo naman talaga siya nagagamit. When you are just mindlessly deciding, mindlessly shopping, it's an indicator that you're also not aware of the day-to-day decisions that you're making. But then, like, when you think about it, imagine the amount of money that you could have saved from those random stuff you don't end up using, or the stuff that just get piled up everywhere. Imagine mo, ang dami mo nang na-save from that you could have used somewhere else. May it be investing in that laptop to start a business, may it be investing in a course to actually have income generating skills. Imagine that money you could have saved could be put somewhere else where you actually know that you're enjoying your life and not just giving in to instant short-term gratification. Fourth sign is being crippled with the fear of uncertainty. This is a big one, and I realize this is the common denominator, especially when my clients wanted to work with me and really had like, I need help, like this is the call for help. I need an expert to help me get out of this crisis mode, whether it's like clearing out their debts, whether it's like, you know, I've always wanted to start a business, but I always thought it was impossible. How do I make sure that I have right amount of savings? How do I make sure that I invest in the right kind of things that will actually add value to my life? I want to do more things. I always had plans to do so many things, passion projects, businesses, or side hustle, but you know, you feel so crippled because you're like, oh, I've never been there. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen when I do that. Just imagining the unknown beyond that, you're just like, nope, no. I ain't gonna go out of my comfort zone, because my comfort zone, this is the safe zone. But like, is safe really enjoying your life? That's a question. You're safe, but are you happy? You're safe, but are you excited about life? You're safe, but are you actually living out your dreams? And that's why when I coach my clients, really dig into these. Like, I welcome all the doubts, I welcome all the fears, because that's only when you can overcome them. How are you going to overcome your fears if you just keep putting them in the dark, or keep putting them in that box in your head that you never open? But how else are you going to know like what's beyond those fears? How else are you gonna know that there's actually solutions? There are actually possibilities. That's when you actually vocalize it, when you actually speak up your mind. That's only when you realize like your problem isn't really that big of a deal. It's usually just all up in here. Like, at least for me, like, I didn't know I wanted to start my own coaching business until I faced my face in front of the mirror and like became honest with myself that I wasn't living out the kind of life that I wanted for years. So why was I putting up with something that I knew wasn't aligned with what I want? We forget what we want because we're constantly bombarded by things telling us what we want. Society, family, friends, media. But what do you want? What do you really want out of life? Because that's when you really can get out of the crisis and figure out how to really get your life together from there. If you want to understand this a lot more and just chat to someone about it, I love interacting with you guys over on Instagram. So just message me over there if this is something that resonated with you, because I wish this was talked about more when I was going through it. And that's why I'm just passionate about what I do and the content that I put out there. Sign number 5 is you're feeling left behind at your age versus your peers. I cannot tell you how many times my clients have shared this, that this is actually the biggest roadblock for them when it comes to achieving what they want out of life and like saving consistently for it and actually like have more clarity towards having financial freedom. It's because they're constantly comparing themselves versus the achievements of others. The biggest thing is that we realize is that, teka lang, gusto mo ba yung na-achieve niya? Gusto mo ba yung kotse? Gusto mo ba yung mansyon? Gusto mo ba yung trabaho niya? Gusto mo ba yung promotion? Do you really want that? Or do you want something else? Is there something else that will actually be more enjoyable to you? And that's what we often forget. But oftentimes when we're in quarter life crisis, it's because we're constantly triggered by other people who are achieving things that you're like, am I supposed to already have that by that age? You end up having like a red alert in your head because you're thinking like you are so far away versus others. Do you actually take the time to check on yourself? Like, what do you actually want? What are your actual goals? What are the goals that will actually make you feel like you are in alignment with who you are? Imagine for years you've been using others as your criteria to know if you're successful or not, and that is the most dangerous thing you could ever do. There is a lot of people that will be better than you. That's the truth. There's a lot of people who have more investments than me. But guess what? I'm fine. I know that I have my own goals. I am living in alignment with my own vision in my life. So I'm happy about that. And isn't that the best feeling ever, knowing that you're just striving to become the better version of yourself, focusing on your own goals? This is like one of the biggest realizations that my client get when we get deep into like my coaching and like my exercises when it comes to this, because they're like, oh my gosh, like eto pala yung gusto ko, hindi yung kino-compare yung sarili ko sa ibang tao na di ko naman pala gusto yun eh, ito yung gusto ko. Then we can really map out the path on how you could get there. And oftentimes, it's much simpler than you think. It's much more achievable. It's much more possible than you think. Because all those answers, they come with a lot of pros and cons. The answers in you, it comes with all the insecurities, it comes with all the fears, it comes with all of the doubts, it comes with all of the what ifs. But if you just peel that and just like, there's a light. There's like the blue sky, and you figure out, yun yung matagal ko lang sinasabi na gagawin ko pero hindi ko talaga pinagtutuunan ng pansin. So remember, if you want to access my 60-minute free training where you can master your money mindset towards your debt-proof freedom under 3 steps, then DM me on Instagram with the code word LIFE so that I could send you the link to the video, and also we can chat over there. Also, if you want to learn more tips on how you can overcome impulsive buying just like I did, you can check out these 2 videos where I dive into my experience a lot and how I was ultimately able to save up consistently to $500,000 savings and investments. So I hope to see you guys over there.